All right, hello. I have gathered you here today because I want to go through my fabric stash and show the plans that I have for the fabric. So that's proof that it's all necessary fabric and I need it, and I might need more, but this will help me organize my craft schedule and go through what I have. I'm gonna focus mostly on fabric that I have enough yardage for to make like garments. I have a good amount of scrap fabric. Maybe I'll show those bags at the end too because I have plans for some of that as well. But I'll mostly go through fabric that I have a good amount of. The main places that I get my fabric from, other than like old tech t-shirts that I'm cutting up and reusing, I like to go to B&J's in the garment district. It's nice because they have swatches of all the fabric you can go through instead of having to sift through bolts, which I really appreciate because I'm very weak. I go to Mood as well. Mood does do bolts, so I kind of have to heft them out, but it's not a big deal. You can find some really cool fabric here. And then very occasionally I'll order fabric from Etsy, but I don't have any specific shops that I like go back to. So I'll try to like kind of group these in order, I guess. We'll do cottons first. I went on a real like cotton gauze binge, and I have plans for it, as I will show, but I do have a good amount of it just because it's such a fun fabric and it feels really nice and it's machine washable and everything. So without further ado, let's jump in. I have 8 yards of this beautiful double cotton gauze that has smaller stripes on the inside. It's really hard to see on camera actually. And these bigger stripes on the outside. It's really soft. I already washed it. I got it from this Etsy shop. Can you see the shop on here? Oop, I don't need an offer. I already bought it. It did come from abroad, so shipping was expensive, but I just couldn't find this color palette and I really wanted it, and I think it's really beautiful. You can see it's Mary's Kit. So I have this. And then what I have in mind for it, for the top, I got this pattern. It's Simplicity S9952. I know this is backwards and it's in plastic. So optimal viewing experience. You can see if I angle it. It's just like a really relaxed fit button down. And I think that this is gonna be, I wanna make lots of these if I end up liking the pattern, but I think it'll be nice to start with this fabric because it's meant to be flowy and drapey and really comfortable, and that's my goal for this, is just to make something I'm gonna be really comfortable in. So I definitely wanna make this top. And then I also wanna make the Henrietta skirt by Spaghetti Western, which I think I've talked about in a video before. This little like flouncy ruffle detail is really cute, and I liked a few other people's I pulled from Instagram actually added ruffles and stuff, so I think it'd be fun to do that in this other color on the other side that has like the striping. So, you know, alternating which side I show, or making the skirt reversible, like just by finishing the inside really cleanly. So that's the plan with this. I'll definitely have leftover fabric, but I think it's a good start. Still in the vein of cotton gauze, let me switch my tabs so you can see. This is from Mood. So this is a really nice brown double cotton gauze, and my goal was to make pajamas out of this one. So I would love to make a cool top, like asymmetric top like this, but I think I'd have to self-draft it. That's the goal for now. I did buy buttons. I don't know where they are. They're like pretty brown mother of pearl buttons. So I do want to do that. I forgot how much of this I got, but if I got enough, I would also like to make the Arthur pants. I know you want a crisper fabric that'll like hold its structure for a barrel leg pant, but I want to practice, and I think it would be nice to practice with this, and it would be comfortable if I did the elasticated waist that is an option here instead of the button waist. So that's what I have in mind for this gauze. And then I have some cream colored double cotton gauze also from Mood. And then you can see this bag of scraps up here. I do, not anytime soon, but I want to make the Hova jacket, but much longer, and then quilt it. I mean, it's meant to be quilted. And then quilt this together, and I think it's gonna be really pretty. I'm not gonna do it anytime soon because this is like, I'm gonna wear it as more of a house coat in the winter, and we've passed that season. But that's the long-term plan for that. And then if I have any extra cotton gauze scraps, I'll add it to the scrap pile so I can use it for this sort of scrap busting project. So I think that'll be fun. I think that's everything in terms of double cotton gauze. Here's the cream double cotton gauze that I'll use in the inside of the Hova jacket. Let's move on to just normal cottons and maybe linens. I had this gorgeous floral fabric, very soft, when we were in Seoul, at the Dongdaemun shopping complex, which is just this huge multi-building, multi-leveled, basically like fabric market. It was very overwhelming and very cool. I think it's a linen cotton blend or just linen. I don't speak Korean, and it was a bit hard to communicate. I also got this beautiful quilted cotton fabric that I made these pants out of there, and it's gorgeous. But anyways, that's where this is from. It's beautiful, very soft. I want to make an A-line like linen dress out of it, well, whatever this fabric is, dress out of it, and add like a little harness detail at the top like I've been doing on these different t-shirts. So that's this one. And then I also got this linen fabric, which looks so fun on camera. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I've been looking at it for a while at this Etsy shop, Bow Craft Fabric. It was really cute. This also came from abroad, so it was pretty expensive, but they sent me like little green pins and a thank you note, and it was very cute. But I don't know what I'm going to make with this one. Maybe a summery top, maybe a summery skirt. It's a little on the thin side, so I would need to line it or double layer it. But these are also almost kind of fun together. So no clear plan for that one. And then I do have from her shop, actually, let me grab it. This jersey knit pointel fabric is so plush and beautiful. It has like several layers. I think it says how many layers in the listing. And then little pin tucks, almost like it's a pointel. I was looking for like a pointel cotton, which is just, I don't know how to describe it. You can look it up, but this is so soft and plush, and I want to make pajamas out of it probably, but I don't have a plan for exactly what they're gonna look like. Sorry for the oat feet you can hear walking around. He just walked right into the closet. But I have a lot of this because whenever I pay a good amount for shipping, I think, well, I better get a lot of fabric. So I have this as well in the cotton category. I've had this fabric from ISEE. How do we think we say this store name? ISEE. ISEE fabric for a pretty long time now. I don't remember how I found the shop or why I ordered from it. I think I was just looking for a very specific color of like a waffle fabric, if you can see the waffling. And I've had this for a long time just because I still haven't nailed down exactly what I want to do with it. I know I want to make like a leisure set, so top and bottom, you see a theme here. I want to make comfortable clothes that look like a little interesting. But I haven't decided how yet. Like I like these little inserts of a waffle fabric in like a sweatshirt or some kind of cool same concept with a t-shirt, and I'm totally not sure what to do with the bottoms. But what I have is I think 4 yards of this waffle in the color wheat, which is very soft and very nice. I mean, you can see here. So there's, okay, a sponge terry, which is basically like a really soft, like squishy sweatshirt fabric. Kind of also like a towel, like terry cloth. That's what terry is. So I would probably have the towel part touching my skin or on the outside. Haven't decided. But I have 6 yards of this. Ooh, I bought a lot of that. I turn into a different person when I'm purchasing fabric. But yeah, I bought this either a year ago or maybe even 2 years ago. And I haven't nailed down the design that I want to do yet. So that's why it's been sitting. And then I also purchased rib in the same color. Usually I'm not too into making really like beige colorways of things, but I think for this one I just really wanted to play with texture in whatever I make and structure and make it interesting that way. So it doesn't always have to be interesting in color. So I have these 3 things. They're all cotton, I believe. There might be some synthetics in the rib because it's a stretch rib, but I bought this colorway because they all match. It's the same kind of dye lot. So I have this. I forgot I have this, so I need to get back to the drawing board for this one, but this feels more like a fall outfit anyway, so maybe I'll put this on the schedule for a late summer and figure something out there. So let's see what else. You can go through my drawers with me. So you'll see behind me, I keep fabric in a closet. Let me make myself bigger. But I also keep it in this cool shelving unit that I have. It's kind of sorted, so, you know, kind of. But let's see, what do we have here? This is mostly scrap stuff. I have this like cool rubbery fabric that I found at Mood because I bought it because I think that it's probably water resistant because it's literally just like TPU and I've been making little travel bags with it, like little packing cubes and stuff, and bags for my knitting, which is really cute. I think I showed one of those bags in my first monthly makes video, so you have to go spelunking in that 30-minute video to find it. So I have that. I have like some denim scraps in here. This is like a green denim. These I don't have specific plans for. I'll probably just make more bags and things out of these scraps. I have this fabric. I bought this at one of my very first trips to Mood. So, sidebar, I went to Mood Fabrics 2 times, and I went downstairs, and it used to be, let me show you if I can find it on Google Earth. So you'll know if you've ever been to Mood Fabrics. You have to walk down the street, walk. This is here now, but the story will make sense when I tell you it didn't used to be. You go up to the 3rd floor. You go through these escalators and you go up to the 3rd floor, right? The first 2 or 3 times that I went to Mood, I think it was only 2, I walked down the street, and then this used to be Mood's home fabric section, so like upholstery and things like that. So it didn't have huge signage that said Mood was on the 3rd floor. It just said Mood and you went in. So I would go in there and be like, people rave about this fabric store, and I don't get it. It's not that big. It only seems to be like home type fabrics. I did like that they had offcuts so you could get scrap fabric for really cheap, but I went twice and I thought that was the whole store. So if you haven't been and you don't know, you have to go in here and go upstairs. And now I've gone upstairs. So in one of the trips that I went upstairs pretty early on, I saw this really pretty, like, it's a tweed, I think, like Chanel suit-esque fabric, and it was like $40 a yard, and I had just finally started sewing garments that I actually liked, and I thought to myself, this is such a fun color, it's so beautiful. I think they had like a mannequin with some of this draped on it in a skirt or a top, or at least a similar fabric, and I thought to myself, I'm gonna treat myself, and I got like 2 or 3 yards of this, with the intention of making like a pencil skirt, little top type duo, something more professional. I have to sneeze 1 second. Okay, I sneezed. Thank you. Oh, this has been sitting in this bag since I bought it. I also bought some lining fabric. It's like a very light silk, only because I am so afraid to use it. I have some ideas for patterns, and now, like, years later, I am definitely at a level where I think I can sew this. So if I have an occasion coming up where I need something more formal and springy and gardeny, maybe I'll start to draft up plans for this. But for now, I will keep it to the side until I've done more tailoring or I'm ready to do something more structured. And I'm just gonna zip this little plastic bag back up. On that note, the rest of this drawer is mostly just lining fabric, like relatively sheer. Some of these are silks, some of these are cottons, some of them are blends. You'll notice a trend where I mostly just have natural fibers. That's just what I want to sew with. That's my preference, other than the bright yellow TPU that's in here that I just showed you. So we deviate sometimes, but most of the time, not really. So I'll put this back. I also still have some scrap left of this cotton poplin that I bought on a whim from Mood again, with these little paper cranes on it. I think it's so cute, but I could never bring myself to make it into like a garment or a dress because I don't think it would end up really being my style, but I made pillow covers out of it for the couch, which is really fun. And then I paired it with that yellow rubbery fabric to make a little knitting bag that I mentioned earlier. So that's this one. There's not too much left of it, but we still save, we still keep it. And then in terms of scraps, I also have this cow print fabric from Mood, so lots of Mood stuff. I made long shorts out of this, and I think that they're so cute. I almost want to get more and make like an even longer pair and make like palazzo pants maybe. But I've been using the remnants of this to make like the inside of an iPad case and line things just because it's like fun for lining. It does have a little stretch to it actually, so it's probably not the best for lining fabric, but you know, whenever ever let that stop me. I do want to make, actually I think I have a freeform board for this. I want to make a little top. Now that it's getting warm again, actually, it might be the time to do this. So I wanted to make a little top to match the shorts that I made. I used to have this little top that had clasps in the front to close it, and it fit me so well, and I thought it was so cute. So I've kind of wanted to recreate this. I don't have it anymore, so I can't draft it right off the pattern, but I found some like similar things that people have made and watched how they did them. See, these are the shorts. Do you see the vision? Little bustier, little shorts, cow, moo, very fun. I found some lay down pictures because I don't have this anymore of this top on like Depop, so I could see how it was made. It had some like princess seaming and stuff, and you can see the little clasps here. So I'll have to decide if that's still the route that I want to go with this. I think so. It was really fun and so cute, so it'd be really nice to like try to recreate this. So maybe I'll put this higher on my list now that it's summertime, and you know, it's, you want to be a cow in the summer. So there's that. Put that back. And then I just have random like quilting cotton. I'm pretty sure it's not recommended as much for garments because the fiber staple length is shorter. Something I don't know about, but typically it's not recommended that you use it to make clothing, but it also really doesn't matter and there's no rules. I bought this because I made my mom a pair of oven mitts that were really long because she kept burning her arms reaching into the oven like way up here. I owe her another pair of oven mitts because those were not very good. So that's what I'll be using this for, is making another pair of oven mitts. And I also use it if I need to line like muslins or have a contrast practice fabric. This is really good for that. This is just from like, this is random. It was just inexpensive. Cotton. So plagiarism is unethical, but taking inspiration and making things that you don't intend to sell is totally fine. So that's what I'm going to do with this. I actually got a sample from a website I can't recall right now. This is also quilting cotton, but I couldn't find a striped cotton that had a neon green like chartreusey element to it that wasn't a quilting cotton. So I was like, F it, let's just buy quilting cotton and make a dress out of this. But I saw this ruched dress from Damson Matter. I think it's gorgeous. The only reason that I wouldn't want to purchase this is because I don't want the sleeves. And I wouldn't want to buy this dress just to rip the sleeves out. I'm sure it's made beautifully. So I'm going to make it myself. I saw this cute little, I think this is like a TikTok or an Instagram series of someone showing how they did shirring or like ruching in a bodice. I want to do it like not really shirred with elastic thread. I want to just use thin elastic channels to emulate this same look. But I'm basically going to make this exact same dress just without the sleeves. And I'll have to figure out that little like ruffly flounce down there. But I think it's really cute. I think this could even be a dress for attending weddings, which is good because these are not wedding no-no colors. You keep learning things that you can't wear. You can't wear red. You can't wear whatever. Like white is obvious. But these are fine, I'm sure. The bridesmaids won't be wearing this. So I think this will be higher on my list because I want to wear it for summer and I think it will be very cute. And then I also found this YouTube tutorial. If you haven't noticed, I think I've never explicitly talked about this. The app I'm using here is a native Apple app called Freeform, and I love it. It's great. When you paste links, they just turn into these little tiles with images, and you can draw text and write notes and stuff, and it syncs across all my devices, and I really love it. So shameless free plug, you're welcome, Tim Apple, for this stuff, for Freeform. But that's this one. That's the plan for this one. We'll rotate you slightly. Let me make myself bigger. This coat that you see behind me is double face or double cloth, wool double cloth. So it's really beautiful, thick wool. I'd been eyeing this on the Bolt like every time I went to Mood, and one day I finally just said like, I'm gonna buy this. Not inexpensive, but I made this coat. I like matched all of the patterns up. It took a really long time to do it. I hand sewed all the seams down. Not all of them, but like hand finished all the seams, like flat felled. So this bin is just wool scraps. I'm not going to do anything with it right now. I do want to make a little like cool top piece for the jacket. I have a Freeform board for that, I guess I can show you. I also have some green wool in here from a different jacket that I made. I actually have way more left than I thought. So no current plans for this because it's more winter stuff, but it's part of the inventory and we're going to be thorough. So here's the Freeform board that I originally used for the pixel coat that I made behind me, but I do want to make a cute little like top piece that doesn't have a function but is just fun because I have enough fabric. So I've been waffling on the shape of that. Obviously winter is gone now, but that was more of a winter thing. I found this really beautiful jacket. I forgot where it's from because these are just PNGs and not links, but it has this whole little like trench part to it with the clasps and everything. I thought that was kind of fun. So I'm still deciding on the shape of it, but I do want to do that. I'll probably do that more closer to the fall and not in the summertime, but I thought this was just fun. The little like garter shape I think is really interesting. So The coat's done. The coat is wearable. I have the buttons and things if I want to make this little top piece. I probably won't make that anytime soon. You can see all my notes for the actual coat construction, and then like the drawings I have here. I had to change the collar from like my other coat because I made this in a green double cloth as well. But that's what the wool looks like. If I remembered where I got this quilting fabric from. This is from Colchester Mill Fabrics, which is primarily quilting, and it's a quilting fabric, so that makes sense. So that's where this is from, just in case you also want sulfur neon green stripes to make a dress out of. I usually don't order fabric from websites where I can't find anyone else who's ordered from it talking about it online, or don't know anyone personally who's ordered from there. But I took a chance with this because I was looking for a very specific type of fabric that these are nice and they're perfect, and I like this website, so now I can recommend to you Farmhouse Fabrics. Came very quickly. Beautiful. But I was hesitant because the photo quality is small, so it was really hard to tell what I was going to be getting. I had this button-down shirt that I used to love. It was from a sample sale, so I don't know what the actual fabric composition was, but it had this beautiful drape to it. It had very subtle stripes. It was a bit sheer, a little bit oversized. I have pictures of it, but I lost it on vacation. We used the closet and then left clothes in the closet because that's what you do, and I want to recreate it as best I can. So I bought not a lot, I have some options for cotton shirting that I think will get me there to a similar shirt, and I'll always wear like an airy cotton button down. It's nice to like help protect you from the sun a little bit and stuff. So this one is not from Farmhouse Fabrics, but this is like an eyelet cotton. I don't remember if I ordered this from Etsy. I think I just found this at Mood. It's soft, it's sheer, it's light. It's definitely not the same type of fabric that shirt was made out of, but you know, I think for this one, I'll probably use the same pattern I mentioned earlier, just for like a first pass to see how it looks. And then in terms of the Farmhouse Fabrics, let me actually open this and get them out. It's kind of dark now, I realize. Not good for a fabric review when it's dark, but if I don't do this now, I'm never gonna do it. So this fabric came, and it's actually stunning. So I wanted something that had a little bit of a sheen to it because that's what the shirt had, which is why I think it was probably silk or even like a cotton sateen. But this fabric is really close. Can I fix the white balance? Kind of. You can kind of see. Maybe if we put the flashlight on. So it has, is that better or is that much worse? Oh, it's better. Okay, look. So it has these stripes. The whole thing is cotton, but then the stripes are like slightly raised and shiny. So kind of like a sandblasted cotton or something. I don't know. So that's this fabric. I don't see it on their website anymore, so I can't bring the listing up for you. This one I think is going to be pretty close to the shirt that I liked. It's a little bit stiffer, but maybe after I wash it, it'll have a similar drape-ish kind of. So I'm definitely going to make a button down out of this after I make a few practice button downs. And then I hate to order just one fabric from a new website when I'm paying for shipping. Do we see a theme here? So I also got this like plaid pattern. So it's the same kind of thing. Let's see if we can, oh, I didn't even notice they tied a beautiful bow on this. I definitely recommend this website, other than the fact that you can't really see the fabric very well that you're getting. But let's do the flashlight thing again. It's the same concept where the fabric is like a pretty white cotton, and then the pattern is just like raised and kind of shiny, and that's how it differentiates. So it's very subtle, but I saw this and I was like, a plaid would be so fun. So maybe I'll do something different with this. Maybe I'll also make another button down with this. I will say the drape on this one and just how it feels in my hand feels very similar to the other shirt. So between the three of these, none of them are perfect, and I will never recreate that shirt, sadly. But maybe I'll make something better. Let's be positive. I actually just found the freeform board where I went through all my pictures to find any photos of this shirt. But you can see it has like really subtle striping. It's probably a little more sheer than these fabrics are. And also the stripes were more varied. Like there was big clumps and then little clumps. And I just loved this shirt so much. Here's like the few pictures that I had with it before I lost it. And then I have some plans for like I think these, like something like this is fun. So I'll make a bunch of button downs, and then I will just like find cute ways to alter them and make them different. But that was the shirt. And then I have this cool like oil spot cotton crepe type fabric that I think is also from Mood, but they don't sell anymore, I believe, so I can't find it on their website, or I'm just not using the right keywords. I want to do something cool with this, like, two-piece wise, but I might not have enough. I really like this t-shirt dress pattern from Dressmaking Amore. I love their patterns. I use them a lot. I found them on Etsy. The thing with this is you need to use a stretch fabric to get in and out of it, right? This isn't a stretch fabric. So I might find a way to alter this so I can make it out of this type of fabric, just because I think this would be really cool in this type of silhouette. In this picture, she's wearing a skirt under the shirt also, and I was thinking that that would be kind of fun. Like, I don't think I have enough for that. I'm very bad at gauging, like, how much is enough fabric for things, but it usually ends up working out. So that was the plan for this. I should put this back on my little roster for the short term because it'll be really cute for summer. Maybe if I, like, split the sides so that it can button all the way up also. I don't know. I need to do some drafting. I got some pattern drafting books, so we're gonna read those. But that is this. I also have some leftover of this cotton I bought a really long time ago that I don't like anymore, but I'm realizing for the things I don't like, I can make them into really cute little pouches and bags. So maybe I will add this one to the pouches and bags drawer, which is down here. And then in terms of things that I don't have an immediate plan for, let me make myself big again. I did go through a little fleece phase, and then I think I realized that I was buying synthetic fleece. You can get cotton fleece and, like, natural fiber fleeces. And once I started to move more into that territory, I wanted to sew with this a little bit less, but I think this would be fun to make something that's maybe not a garment. I've been making little dog beds and little pads for us to lean on the floor with, so maybe something like that. But I have these left over from those days in, like, a cobalt blue and this hot orange. And then I made a sweatshirt out of this fabric. So it's like a cool heathered sweatshirt fabric. I think it's cotton, mostly cotton. There might be a little something else in there. Sometimes you get a bolt at Mood and it doesn't actually say much of what it is. It just kind of gives you a hint. But I have some of that left over. I have no intention of making anything with it right now, but I do really like the sweatshirt. Maybe I can make, like, matching shorts or something, but that's in there. It's kind of on hold. The only other thing I have in here, everything's kind of squished now, is I have this fantasy in my head that I will be able to go into vintage stores and thrift shops and find textiles that I can upcycle. So far, at least in New York City, that's been a little unrealistic. I just think because textiles and big swatches of fabric probably more susceptible to, like, bed bugs or something. I have no idea, but most thrift stores don't just have fabric, and I know in other states, like, they do. But there is a place. So I got this from a little vintage shop. It's popular, so this is not like a hidden gem by any means. There's this popular vintage shop, 10-foot single Stella Dallas. I don't know why there's so many words in there. But there's a store next door that's owned by the same people, I believe, and it's Home Goods, and they do have a textile section in the back. It is expensive, but that's okay because sometimes we have to treat ourselves. But let me see what the name of the place is next door. Sometimes I can remember what something is near, but not what it's called. So 10-foot single is the vintage store that has clothing primarily, and then next door is the Home Goods store, which is Stella Dallas Living. Makes sense. But I found this really pretty tablecloth that has little embossed, like, sheen flowers. You can see a theme here. I like a little, like, pattern that's kind of subtle. And I purchased this and I washed it with the intention of making clothes out of it. And then I got home and I was like, am I a mint girl? So I was overtaken by the fantasy of using upcycled, like, vintage textiles to sew. Maybe I'll still make something out of this. Maybe I will use it as a tablecloth, but I have this. So that's pretty much everything for the drawers, I think. Let me triple check. Now I do have denim, and I have plans for the denim. I mentioned the Arthur pants already, the barrel leg pants. I want to make jeans. I recently bought the little buttons, like jean buttons, and a zipper. I've never done a zipper fly before, so I will practice, but I have the supplies. So this one is coming up on the list soon. I bought this really beautiful, I think it's slightly a stretch denim. I didn't mean for it to be a stretch denim, but I just went by aesthetics. This is from B&J. I don't know what it's called, so I'm sorry. But if you go there, you can find it. This is the correct side. But I thought this little pinstripe denim would be really fun if I used the wrong side and did like accents with the right side. So I'm still kind of planning that out. But other people have made the Arthur pant in denim, so it does work. I think a barrel leg jean is gonna be really fun. So that's the plan for this one. I don't know if I'll have extra. If I do, maybe I'll make a little jean jacket or something. It'll be fun. And then I have another piece, more denim, only because, you know, I can't just leave with one type of fabric. This is like really light and airy. This is also from B&J, and it has these little colorful speckles in it. Oh, they add, okay, so I can tell you exactly what it is. Look at this backwards, and then I'll read it to you. It is 100% cotton chambray with neon specks, 3.7 ounces. So it's very light. I'm gonna make like palazzo pants out of this, I think, like a very wide leg pant. I think it'll be cute and beautiful. I'll probably do this pant before this one to practice the zipper fly potentially, but also just because I think a light, airy, like palazzo capri is gonna make more sense for summer, and it's gonna get hot really soon. But I do wanna make these as well. Basically, once I practice the Arthur pant one time, hopefully I'll be good to like make all these variations. By all these, I mean like 3. So that's what I have for the denim in here. And then I probably won't take it out, but this is just a really stiff like canvas. I wanted to make a backpack at one point. I don't know what happened there. That yellow rubbery TPU fabric was gonna be the inside of the backpack. I don't need a backpack. Maybe I'll still make it, but probably not because I currently don't have a need for it. But if the need comes back, I have the material. I thought it would be fun to make something more permanent that like looks like a muslin because it's made out of like muslin colored fabric. For those of you who don't know, like let me show you what a muslin is. Muslin is used to make like drafts of a garment typically, but it's also a type of fabric in its own right, and you can have different grades of it and make final garments out of nicer muslin as well. But it's usually undyed cotton like this. So I thought it would be fun to make something more permanent out of this same color, just as a nod to like sewing and stuff. I don't know, it's not that deep, but I thought, so that's why I have that, but I don't think I'm gonna make the backpack. So I think that's everything from our drawer inventory. I have a few more things in the closet I'm gonna grab, and then like random scraps and things because I never get rid of anything, but that's the majority of the fabric that I have. So that's not that bad, right? There's not that much fabric. And I have plans for almost all of it, so it's not like I bought it on a whim. I bought a stunning quilt coat as a huge treat to myself a while back before I learned how to sew from this person, Jess Meany, I believe is how you pronounce her last name, but if that's wrong, I'm super sorry. And I was just struck by the fabric. I thought it was gorgeous, it was stunning, and I've been looking at this jacket listing for so long on this website, and one day I just DM'd her. I was like, do you still have that fabric? Are you able to make more jackets out of it? I would love it. And she said yes. I got it. It was beautiful. I did get a slightly longer version of the jacket. I should just go grab it, but I don't feel like it. And I ended up cropping it myself once I learned how to sew, just because I realized I wear cropped things more often. But it's stunning and beautiful. And as a gift, my sister got me. I've been researching this fabric once I realized that Google Lens existed. And it's just like an old, I don't know if it was Martha Stewart or what, I can't remember, but it was a quilt that you could purchase, and you still can. You can't buy it new anymore. But I'd been scouring eBay, and someone finally posted a king-sized version of this quilt. And I sent it to my sister, and I was like, if you want to get me a gift for any season, birthday, whatever, get me this, because I'm gonna make overalls out of it. And I think it would be so cute to make overalls out of this, and then wear my little jacket over it and be in my little girly work outfit. Yes, I want to make overalls out of it. I want them to be like, I think really oversized, but not so much so that if I'm not wearing pants, you can like peek down at my underwear. So that's pretty much everything. I know that that's a lot. Comment if you think it's a lot. No, don't, please. I have one last piece of fabric. I will take any suggestions with what to do with it. This was on sale at Mood. I don't know why I bought it. I thought it was cool because there's another layer on top, so it makes them kind of look like holographic, but that makes this like a very odd stiff fabric, and now I have no idea what to do with this. I don't want to make a garment out of it necessarily, but I have it. So I think that's it. other than random scrap pieces. Well, yeah, that's my inventory. I'm gonna watch my own video back and make a little plan now for when I want to sew through everything, but thanks for watching. It's dark now. It's nighttime.